Happening now, those prosecuting the man accused of attacking a renowned author at the Chautauqua institution last summer are ready to take their case to trial. And with holiday shopping in full swing, local businesses hope you take a break from Amazon.
67 cents of every dollar spent at a local business stays local.
And shop local this Small Business Saturday. Plus, what the Board of Public Utilities budget for next year means for homeowners and renters alike in Jamestown.
Live and on demand, this is WNY News Now.
Happening now, and thank you for joining us for WNY News Now. I'm Justin Gould. Those stories and more are coming up, but first, the Jamestown Board of Public Utilities is explaining their newly released 2023 fiscal plan and what that means for customers in the coming year. Our Bronson Rasmussen joining us live now from the newsroom with more on the financials. And Bronson, I hear inflation is taking its toll.
That's right, Justin. During the BPU's November meeting on Monday, a draft of the 2023 electrical budget was released. And while there will be no increase to customers' bill this year, there are a few concerns that were brought to the table.
We're a municipal utility, right? So we're not here to make big profits, but our rate of return, each division's different. But the electric division gets a contribution from our off-system sales profits. So that's because we have a power plant and because we run a power plant. The first $1.225 million of profits goes to the operating budget. And our current draft of the budget shows, right, a year-ending net income of about $1.2 million. So that says the division overall, separate from those off-system sales profits, is break even.
Some of the contributing factors include inflation of natural gas and electricity prices, and state legislation like the Climate Leadership and Community Protection Act and other climate-based ordinances.
Realistically, 2023 and 2024 are likely to be more engineering studies, feasibility studies, more preparatory work, and I would think that actual dollars being expended are 3 to 5 years out.
In the end, the general manager believes that there will not be any major changes in billing for their customers this year.
From a dollars perspective, how significant of a rate increase would we be looking at in probably the late 23-24 timeframe?
As for other departments, water rates are expected to go up 3%. For wastewater, however, there will be no change in this upcoming year. Reporting live in the newsroom, Bronson Rasmussen, WNY News Now.
Bronson, thank you. Those prosecuting the man accused of attacking a renowned author at the Chautauqua institution last summer are ready to take their case to trial. Chautauqua County District Attorney Jason Schmidt said Monday his office is ready to present their case against Hadi Matar before a jury. The 24-year-old was formally indicted by a Chautauqua County grand jury in August on attempted murder and assault, both felonies in connection with the August 12th attack on Salman Rushdie. Rushdie, along with event moderator Henry Reese, were allegedly attacked with a knife by Matar just before he gave a lecture at the Chautauqua Institution Amphitheater. In September, Judge David Foley issued a protection order for victims and witnesses. The order keeps witness identities from being disclosed in open court and ordered Matar until a week before a full trial is set to begin. While a trial could still be 6 months or more away, all evidence has been turned over to Matar's attorney, County Public Defender Ned Barone, for review as part of New York's discovery law. It took the DA's office longer than usual to review evidence gathered due to the sheer amount collected. The DA says they've received over 30,000 evidence files alone from New York State Police. And an accused Jamestown area drug dealer has pled guilty to peddling illegal substances that ultimately led to an overdose. The U.S. Attorney's Office in Buffalo says 43-year-old Bradley Knapp pled guilty to federal charges yesterday. Between January 2019 and June of 2022, Knapp allegedly conspired with others to sell heroin, meth, and fentanyl out of his 9th Street residence here in Jamestown. Specifically, Knapp is accused of selling controlled substances that led to a drug overdose in August of 2020. After multiple doses of Narcan, police were able to revive the victim there. Sentencing is scheduled for March of next year. Knapp faces a maximum penalty of 20 years in prison and a $1 million fine. A staple of Jamestown's community is seeking funding to help maintain and fix up their historic building. The Fenton History Center is seeking $17,000 from the city's 2023 budget for needed maintenance and operating costs. While the figure is only slightly higher than allocations in years past, the money is more important than ever to the Historical Society, who are trying to fix up some big programs. From roof leaks to basement flooding and water boiler on the verge of quitting there, a number of unforeseen complications need immediate attention, according to their executive director, Jane Babinski.
We're celebrating our 60th year in 2023. So that's why we're trying to get repairs done and spruce up the building. And a lot of things have been let go, not on the city's part, but on the Historical Society's part, I think, because they were focusing on so many other things. So this is the year to really work on things and build our programs up and do more things for the community as well.
In the end, those on Jamestown City Council were surprised that the History Center hasn't asked for more money, especially in the uptick of repairs and ever-growing costs of electricity and gas just to run the building. City Council is slated to vote on their budget at the November 28th voting session. Well, with the holidays just around the corner and many shoppers are considering where to spend their money, businesses in Chautauqua County hope you shop local. Our Julia Gress reports.
Small Business Saturday is a really great push for folks to get out when you're in the holiday shopping mood in the season and go support local business.
In order to connect both in person and online, the Chautauqua County Chamber of Commerce has launched a social media hashtag contest. Shoppers participate by taking a photo of themselves or product at a local business, posting it on Facebook or Instagram with hashtag ShopSmallCHQ. You could win a $500 Shop Local CHQ gift card.
That's a closed loop gift card system, so it means you have to be signed up and you have to be a Chautauqua County business to take that gift card that the Chamber manages.
Over 160 businesses across the county accept the gift card, most of which are locally owned.
67 cents of every dollar spent at a local business stays local. So you can think of that as far as wages for employees, rent and other supplies that they may use from other local businesses, all the way down to maybe the business owner paying for dance classes for their child.
Those who prefer online shopping can still shop locally through the shoplocalchq.com website. They can purchase goods from over 70 vendors.
It was kind of launched as a response to the pandemic, actually, when so many local businesses had to close their doors, to really provide an online platform for them to still put their products and get some sales.
In fact, there's an opportunity to save by using the code Cyber Monday, which takes 20% off a purchase of $200. Products from local businesses also tend to be more unique and have a higher quality than big box stores, which chamber leaders say is just another reason not to shop local this weekend, but all year long. Julia Gress, WNY News Now.
All right, Julia, thank you very much. Now let's switch gears, get a first check of our weather. And talking on that topic of shopping local, finding unique gifts sometimes can be a challenge. And when you go to some of these places that only make one specific thing, and that's it, it's like one runoff of that item, there's no way you're going to compete with your Uncle Joe, who maybe would buy the same sweater for your grandma.
Right. Right. I mean, and I mean, you know, shopping online, I think, is in some ways better than going to the store because, hey, you can sit in your Adidas sweats and buy all kinds of things you want at home. Anyway, we'll send Adidas some money for that product placement. The seller make us.
They need to send us the money.
Oh, really?
That's how it works.
Okay. Okay. So they said send us the money. So we'll get a hold of them. The seller make Skycam show. No, that has fallen over the past couple of days, and it's all in all a quiet day. The satellite and radar composite showing you that. Now, we have a few high-level clouds moving on in, but the clouds will thicken up later on tonight. We'll talk about that a little bit later on. 38 was the high yesterday, started the day at 24, 67, and 5 are the records for this day. So through the afternoon today, partly to mostly sunny, still chilly, not as breezy, 37 to 45 with that southwest wind. Now I've got to look at that Thanksgiving Day forecast. I think you might like it. Coming up along with the Ultimate Satellite Solution 7-Day in a few minutes, John.
All right, Dakota, all eyes will be on that. Thank you very much. As we continue, we're explaining the boost in storm recovery aid coming to our region following a blast of historic lake effect snow. And later, New York State issuing its first cannabis dispensary licenses with a catch for some areas upstate. Stay with us.
with coverage that matters. This is WNY News Now. Wishing you a safe and happy holiday season. WNY News Now, the Jolly Team, where coverage comes first.
Looking for a fair and honest auto mechanic? Look no further than DeWias Auto Service. Located at 140 Main Street in Randolph, our family-owned business is ready for all of your automotive needs. From general service to more complex repairs, count on DeWias Auto to keep you on the road. We not only keep your cars running smoothly, but also looking great with our expert detailing crew. Send us a message on Facebook or call us today at 716-358-2292 to set up an appointment. DeWias Auto Service. Fair, honest, and the best prices guaranteed.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvan Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
Welcome to WNY News Now's in Channel 716 presentation of the Jamestown Holiday Parade. We are celebrating along with hundreds of other folks from the Pearl City as we ring in holiday cheer. 2, 1.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
Federal aid is coming to Western New York to assist state and local cleanup efforts following last week's massive lake-effect storm that dumped more than 6 feet of snow in our region. The White House announced the news in response to this historic storm, which is now blamed for 3 deaths. In total, the Department of Homeland Security and Federal Emergency Management Agency will coordinate disaster relief in 11 counties, including here in Chautauqua, where parts of northern Chautauqua County were impacted. The National Weather Service reported 80 inches of snow in the Buffalo suburbs of Orchard Park and Hamburg as of Monday, with some of the hardest hit areas still trying to dig out. Well, New York State has officially issued its first cannabis dispensary license. However, due to current litigation, not in parts of upstate New York. The licenses were approved by the state's Cannabis Control Board Monday. This is the first of 36 of its 157 licenses that will be able to be selling recreational marijuana in the state. A court ruling earlier this month that delayed the board from approving dispensaries in some parts of the state, including here in upstate, following a legal dispute over licensing criteria. New York legalized recreational use of marijuana in March of 2021, but is still in the process of licensing it to people. Some of the dispensaries selected this week are expected to open by the end of the year. Well, environmental advocates are calling on Governor Kathy Hochul to modernize New York's recycling law, better known as the Bottle Bill. As New York Capitol correspondent Elise Klein reports, advocates are discussing the impacts of updating this legislation and what that could mean for communities and the environment.
Bigger, better bottle bill! Bigger, better bottle bill!
At the Capitol, environmental advocates push for the New York State Returnable Container Act, also known as the Bottle Bill, to be modernized. Passed in 1983, this year marks its 40th anniversary. In 2009, it was expanded to include bottled water. And today, one of the changes advocates are now calling for is to include different types of beverage containers, ranging from non-carbonated drinks to wine and liquor. The second change advocates are calling for is to increase the amount of the deposit to a dime and direct a portion of the additional revenues to ensure better compliance and enhance access to redemption entities. Advocates emphasize this bill needs updates not only to help the environment, but to help those who rely on the bottle bill for their livelihood.
When you're talking about the hundreds of thousands of people that rely on the bottle bill to supplement their income, it could be a world of a difference.
Josefa Marine works as a waste picker, also called a canner, with the recycling center called Sure We Can in Brooklyn. She says the modernization of the bottle bill would help her to better support her family.
Para mí sería un éxito porque así podría.
For me, it would be a huge success because it would mean more income.
And as legislative session approaches, advocates are hoping Governor Hochul will include the bottle bill's modernization plans in the 2023-2024 executive budget. In Albany, Elise Klein, WNY News Now.
Elise, thank you. Well, November is National Family Caregiver Month, and officials in Pennsylvania say it's time to recognize and honor caregivers. The month offers an opportunity to raise awareness of caregiver issues, educate communities, and increase support. Officials are raising awareness to help grandparents who are raising their grandchildren. In many cases, it's due to the drug overdose and addiction crisis which communities are feeling. Resources are available for any grandparent who's responsible for their grandchild.
They may have to assume the role due to their child participating in a substance use treatment program, perhaps due to incarceration, or, in the worst of cases, loss of life to an overdose.
According to officials, programs like the PA Kin Connector and the Caregiver Support Program are especially important for grandparents in these types of situations. Well, coming up next, the latest on an off-duty police officer shooting here in New York State. And later, our special report, Stories from Ukraine, continues with a look at efforts to help those on the front line. But when we return, Dakota's back with a full look at our weather forecast and what it's going to be looking like come this Thanksgiving holiday. Stay with us.
With coverage that matters, this is WNY News Now.
Welcome to WNY News Now's in Channel 716 presentation of the Jamestown Holiday Parade. We are celebrating along with hundreds of other folks from the Pearl City as we ring in holiday cheer. 2, 1.
I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor.
Testicular cancer is the leading form of cancer in men aged 15 to 35.
1 in 250 men will be diagnosed with testicular cancer.
But 98% will survive if detected early.
As a survivor, I believe early detection is the key. Learn how to do a testicular self-exam and other important facts about testicular cancer at oneball4tc.com.
Wishing you a safe and happy holiday season. WNY News Now, the Jolly Team, where coverage comes first.
Fast, accurate, and every day. First Defense Weather.
And welcome back, everybody. Now, we heard Justin talk about those storm totals. I wanted to give it to you in kind of perspective form. Take a look at this. Hamburg, 81 inches from this entire lake effect event. That's almost 7 feet of snow. Orchard Park, 80 inches. Blaisdell, 77.3. Now, once you get into Chautauqua County, the totals drop off, but still, this is significant. 27 inches in Fredonia, 24 Dunkirk, 21 in Gary. Those were the top ones across the region. So, man, lots of snow, and good news is we're done with that. But here's some more good news. The ski pretty soon. As a matter of fact, Holiday Valley plans to open this Friday right after Thanksgiving. That is their planned opening date. Now, we don't have any reports on the ski conditions as of yet, but we should be getting that hopefully on Thursday before they start to open for the season. Nobody else has announced opening dates yet, but those will be coming pretty soon. Also tonight, we do have a shot of seeing the International Space Station fly over. It's at 5:15. So pretty early. So it's going to be moving west-southwest to the northeast, visible for 6 minutes. It's going to be that flashing dot in the sky moving from west-southwest to the northeast. Take a look and see if you can spot the International Space Station. Maybe wave it as well. See if any of the people on board the ISS can see a nice cloud formation downtown right now. Stratus clouds, 39 degrees right now, a south wind of 7, so the dew point is at 18, but the wind chill is the main factor, 34 degrees with that light wind. Overall, not bad. Going on right now, we have a stalled front that's kind of limbering across the region that is continuing to surge in some of the cloud cover, but high pressure is remaining control of our weather, and that's really going to be the main weather story through the next couple of days. Let's show it to you on future scans. So notice how we have some of those clouds through the afternoon hours. Now we'll start to clear out that cloud cover through the evening hours, so we go mainly clear for the evening. But as we go through the overnight hours into early tomorrow morning, we'll start to see the clouds back again. And again, tomorrow should be another repeat, partly to mostly sunny. I do think there'll be a little bit more in the way of cloud cover, though, dotting the sky tomorrow, but no weather hassles for travel if you are doing those last-minute travel plans for Thanksgiving. Speaking of Thanksgiving, here's an early look at the Thanksgiving Day forecast. This is what we're going with here in the city. So we should start around 25 degrees. We should warm up to around the lower to mid 40s, which is right around where we should be, and no weather hassles to contend with. So the bird will be good to go. Now the next 7 days, powered by Ultimate Satellite Solutions. And there you see, we have that dry stretch of weather all the way through Thanksgiving. We bring in a chance for a few occasional showers on Friday, 44, Saturday and Sunday looking a bit wet. And then it turns colder again, Justin, by next week.
Yeah, certainly we're going to be getting more of that snow, I'm sure, in the future. But it's good to have a break, especially for those folks up in Buffalo, Dakota. Thank you very much. Well, legal counsel for the off-duty Vermont sheriff's deputy who was allegedly involved in a shootout and wounded in the streets of Saratoga Springs, New York, was defending himself. I didn't realize that police were shouting at him to drop his gun. That's according to his attorney. Saratoga Springs police said the gunfire erupted after a bar fight sprang outside the city's historic district. After a group of people shoved the deputy to the ground, bullets flew between him and one of the adversaries. Police arrived to the scene and found the deputy holding a gun. They opened fire after he didn't respond to repeated commands to drop it. Officers fired at least some of the bullets that left the 24-year-old with multiple gunshot wounds. Others involved, including the off-duty deputy's girlfriend, were wounded. 3 were hospitalized. They're reported to be in stable condition. Well, it's heroism, so brave. It sounds like a movie, but it happened in real life. Police say the suspect, who killed 5 people and shot more than a dozen others at a LGBTQ nightclub, was stopped by a hero. It could have been so much worse. Amy Kiley has the story from this U.S. veteran who says he's not a hero, but rather just doing the right thing. Warning, some of the video in this program could be disturbing.
I still feel bad that there's 5 people there's 5 people that didn't come home.
But many people at Club Q during the shooting did survive. Reportedly, that's thanks to retired Army Major Richard Fierro and others. He was at the Colorado Springs venue with his family for a drag show Saturday night. He says he saw the shooter heading toward the club's crowded patio.
I saw the ACU pattern flak vest. And for me, that was like, there's a handle, I'm getting it. So I ran across the room, grabbed the handle, pulled him down.
And that caused the shooter to drop his AR-15 style rifle, Fierro says. He adds that 2 people helped him subdue the suspect and 1 pushed away the weapon. Fierro says he took the shooter's handgun and hit him with it, saying,
"You tried to kill my friends. My family was in there. My little girl was in there."
His daughter's longtime boyfriend died that night. Fierro says 2 of his friends got shot. So after police arrived, he administered first aid.
Her husband was reaching for her. So I put her hand in his hand so that they could be together. I didn't know if they were going to make it.
They've been getting care in the hospital. I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
Amy, thank you. What a hero there. Fio's wife writing on Facebook that she and her daughter are also recovering from injuries they sustained that night. Well, 2 turkeys named Chocolate and Chip, they're the luckiest in the country right now. President Joe Biden sparred the 2 gobblers in the annual tradition at the White House turkey pardon. How did the 46 and 47-pound birds get so lucky? Well, you can't say there wasn't any strings pulled here. They were raised in North Carolina by the chairman of the National Turkey Federation, which has been supplying Thanksgiving turkeys to the White House since this tradition started in 1947, when President John F. Kennedy was the first to pardon an official turkey in 1963. The tradition didn't catch on, though. It took more than a quarter century to become the norm here, with President George H.W. Bush revived it in '89. Well, coming up next, our stories from Ukraine continue with how volunteers are helping prepare food for soldiers on the front lines.
Wishing you a safe and happy holiday season. WNY News Now, the Jolly Team, where coverage comes first.
I know what you're thinking. I need a job. I need a new career.
Well, I've been there.
I've been there.
I've been there. I wasn't happy with what I was doing. After high school, I didn't have a plan.
I just wanted to start working. I got laid off twice, but you gotta keep going.
You just need the right skills. Find an apprenticeship.
I found a 2-year IT program.
I found a medical course online.
I'm now a consultant in the tech space.
You have more options than you think. You can do this. You will find something.
You will find something new.
Welcome to WNY News Now's in Channel 716 presentation of the Jamestown Holiday Parade. We are celebrating along with hundreds of other folks from the Pearl City as we ring in holiday cheer. 2, 1. Our coverage of stories from Ukraine continues as our crew came across a group of people from all over the world volunteering in Ukraine. Their mission? To provide food for the soldiers fighting on the front lines. Correspondent Rachel Knapp with more.
So you can make compote is a sort of juice which you can cook from the dried fruits.
Pulling out bags and bags of food.
This is tasty.
People with the Lviv Volunteer Kitchen are eager to show us what they've prepared.
And then it takes 20 minutes to cook.
Soups, snacks.
This is all different cakes, and then they just cut and distribute it.
All of this will be sent to the Ukrainian soldiers fighting on the front lines.
The largest morale boost for them is knowing that there are loads of babusias up in Lviv that are cooking all of this homemade food just so that they don't have to eat like MRE meals, and they can feel slightly at home with some warm borscht in their stomach.
Some of these volunteers are from other parts of Ukraine, while some traveled from other parts of the world.
So beautiful, tasty, pumpkin and rice soup with dill in it.
And just felt like the right place to be right now. So being at home is very difficult, just hearing stuff on the news, reading stuff on your phone. You spend all night scrolling through your phone and just in a state of anxiety, and coming here actually helping, doing whatever we can, chopping vegetables in the snow feels better than doing nothing.
The Lviv Volunteer Kitchen has been up and running since the Russia-Ukraine conflict in 2014. And with this current conflict, volunteers say they couldn't just sit at home and wait for the war to end.
I go home with only one feeling, that I did my job. I did what I need to do. And what is most important is that we understand that we cannot feed everyone in the front lines, but we know that we do something, and it helps our boys and girls who are fighting there for our freedom.
Rachel Knapp reporting.
All right, Rachel, thank you very much. And their series is coming to an end. We have a couple more reports to share over the next few days. But nevertheless, to be able to get a frontline look at that, and even beyond the national headlines, right, where there are real people who are struggling right now as they head into winter, as they're continuing this bout for freedom. So it's really great to see the world come together, and just like yesterday, people from all over, whether you're here in Western New York, or from the United Kingdom, or from down in Florida, California, people are coming together to support the Ukrainians, so it's really quite the sight to see. Well, that is it for us today. I will see all of you after the Thanksgiving holiday. Off tomorrow, Bronson will be in with our final show of the week. Of course, news continues 24/7 at WNYNewsNow.com. We'll leave you with this live look over Randolph's Whedon Park. Have a wonderful day and enjoy your Thanksgiving.